network to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
It's Ebro, Laura Rosenberg. Keke, back on the show. What's up? What's up, Keke?
Hey y'all.
What's going on?
Man, tired. Okay? I've been really going on this press tour for Nope. My ass is like exhausted.
How long has it been since you've been on one of these? Like one of these?
Man,
Because this is one of these.
This is one of these. I feel like, so with Lightyear, I just did it with Lightyear, but before then, it had been a pretty long time for the like junket all day press tour going around country to country type vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the last time, you know what I mean? Because most of the stuff I've done lately has been, not international.
Right.
But with Lightyear and with this.
Now, we were just talking off the air about the struggles of putting out movies, if they're limited theater runs or if you're going straight to streamer. That's not what we're talking about with Nope. Nope feels like it's going to be everywhere you want to see a movie. Does it feel especially big? Can you tell?
I mean, yeah, for sure. It feels especially big. I mean, I think this is the biggest scale I've seen in a long time, even just for movies in general.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the whole summer blockbuster
It's a blockbuster.
gag.
This is one of them.
And to see how Universal is just putting everything into it. They even put, this is the first time that Universal ever had on their lot a set of a movie before it came out. So I'm just like, Jordan, you're killing it.
I want to. So I read this.
Yeah.
And you guys know the Universal. So you know how you could like the Indiana Jones set was there, and they had like there's a Nope Jordan Peele when you go to the Universal.
Oh, they're already prepared.
They already have it up. That's the
It's
first
already
time.
there.
It's
Yes.
already there.
So right now, you'd go and be like, I'm just looking at it for the first time.
Literally.
Before I've seen the movie.
Before you seen the movie. And I'm like, that's crazy. But that's how much they, believe in it.
I mean, it's a big... Okay, so Ebro told me about it, and I was like, I'm just going to watch a trailer for Kiki's new movie. I didn't even know the name of the movie.
No, because we
nothing.
fans. We super
I love
fans.
y'all.
We were just,
he's
Kiki's
the
new
best.
project. So I'm watching
fans
it, and
of
as
him,
I'm watching, I'm like, oh, nope. No. And he's like, that's what it's called. No.
Yeah, that title, I don't know how the hell Jordan comes up with these titles.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out, us. Nope. Like, he just like, I'm just say what it is.
Yeah,
Because
it's really
that's
so
what
true.
it is.
Crazy, yeah.
It is... Listen, I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I'm scared.
You don't watch scary stuff.
I'm scared.
I love scary.
So
How
you know
scary
what?
are we talking?
It's scary, but it's not going to be scary in a way like of just like, it ain't like Freddy Krueger or Nightmare on Elm Street type thing. It's a thriller, it's psychological,
Sci-fi?
it's very intense. Sci-fi, very sci-fi.
Yo, Johnny. Aliens. It's aliens. It's a spaceship.
she didn't
I
say
mean, what we
aliens.
talking about? Space?
Anunnaki,
Outer space?
GG, the whole
Anunnaki,
thing.
I'm here.
Come on, Anunnaki.
You already know. Come on
I
now.
cannot with you with Anunnaki.
What do you mean? You can.
Of
Yes,
course you can.
She's not saying that the movie has Anunnaki in it.
Or a GG.
Or a GG. She's not saying that.
Whatever happened to the Ajiji? That's
It's a
all
great
I want to
question,
know.
Johnny. Maybe
I
she'll...
gotta look into the Ajiji.
You
I
got
don't know about the
You don't know about the Anunnaki and the
I know
GG.
about the Anunnaki, but not the Ajiji.
Yeah, Anunnaki killed off the Ajiji,
Ajiji.
but not all of
Really?
them.
They do need to do a movie on this because this.
Look at her face. Look
Yeah,
at her
this
face.
goes. Yeah, they do need to do a movie on that.
Well, give us the
Facts.
premise of the film for the audience who's watching.
Okay, so Nope is the center of the story is about a brother and sister. My character Emerald and Daniel's character OJ, and they experience kind of like a sense of grief in the beginning of the film, losing their father. But then over the course of the journey, they end up realizing that there's something in the sky that interests them both for two different reasons. It interests OJ because he's just kind of like confused, like, did I really see what I just saw? Like, what is this? I'm curious. And then for my character Emerald, because she's kind of obsessed with, she's like into social media. She's like very much so the quintessential millennial. She's like, how can we make something out of this? How can we
I
exploit?
gotta make me a TikTok.
Exactly. So she's definitely going on this journey, kind of trying to exploit what this situation could be. And over the course of the journey, they start to realize, okay, they really dealing with something that's bigger than they really, you know what I mean? They thought it was big, but it's like it really starts to get freaky. And so they add a couple of other people to help them figure out how to capture this moment. But the real symbolism is like that is the real horror, right? The real horror is how we are all obsessed with exploiting a moment to the point where it could cost us our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the rubbernecking on the freeway. You know what I mean? We'll be watching. Like ain't nobody thought to call 911. We
Everybody
all watching.
them. Somebody get
Let me
beat up and
catch
ain't
it.
nobody actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I said, the way that Jordan does stuff with horror films, it's like there's the monster, there's the thing, but the thing is usually representative of us. You know what I'm saying? The thing is usually having more to do with how we as a society respond as opposed to what is the actual
And that's why I was
monster.
saying to Ebro before we started, that's why I said that he's the new M. Night. Because like it reminds
So
me
many
of those.
people compare him to M. Night or Steven Spielberg.
Well, see, and
he said Spike Lee.
I said, but there's a Spike Lee element because there's always
why?
black folks. The message of how black.
It's about Black America in some way.
Well, so I think I agree with the Spike Lee comparison in the regard where he's definitely always redefining what Black American culture is and always giving us different forms of Black American iconography. But it is different in the sense of Get Out was. Oh, this is obviously commentary on race.
Right.
Us, it took a second for people to realize, oh, this is a commentary on classism. So there's always a big social commentary aspect, and so I get you with the comparison of M. Night because that's how M. Night is.
And through the lane of sort of sci-fi weird,
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes.
But see,
Strange,
back
bizarro.
to my point.
Okay.
He's got his own shooting style, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's got his event. Like Spike Lee had his own framing of the way, and Jordan has his own thing.
Well, I think
And
all
so
the big
after
ones do.
I can't wait for you guys to see Note because that's when the Steven Spielberg comparison started coming in because he shows us a whole different viewpoint. How him and Hoyta, the way that this movie looks is totally different than any movie that you see. Yes, it has that very timeless feel. These shots are incredible. Like seriously.
So, have you ever seen UFO?
Man,
In real life?
I've been around somebody before that's like, did you just see that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you ain't never been.
I ain't never seen.
You ain't never been like, what is that, and why did that move like that, and then go like that?
I've seen a couple shooting stars. You know what I mean? I've seen some shooting stars. I ain't gonna.
Were they shooting stars?
Word that.
This is what we want to know.
So wait a minute.
know.
What have y'all seen?
Tell us,
I
Shani.
love stuff like this.
I've
I
seen
believe in it
several
all.
unidentified flying objects in the air.
What part of the city was you in?
I've seen one on the FDR. I've seen one in Queens when I was about 17. I've seen several in Trinidad. I've seen falling stars in slow motion and then turn.
Now, were they simple? Like what? Like were they all looking the same, or were these all different unidentified objects?
All different.
Really?
And some moved in different ways as well.
But y'all know we've been seeing this stuff before. People have the footage of moments of things like this, but I feel like why are we never going to get to the end of it? It make me think about Contact. You remember the movie Contact when it's like, she had the experience, she made the contact, and then it's like nobody believed her.
Right,
you know what I mean? So
right.
it's like, is that what's going on? Have we already
because this
seen
planet is an experiment.
Okay,
Talk about
And we've all just been transported here and don't remember where we're from, but we're here and the
so
universe.
what's the end game? Can we talk about what is the end game?
Fam, they're here. They're partly amongst us, but guess what? I just don't want no problems with them.
That's right. I want them to smoke.
Yeah.
And I want
You
them to
do.
know
I
what's
mean,
up
I
with.
could be one. You
We're
could
cool.
be one.
We could all-
We
yeah,
could.
it's.
Peace.
knows?
But I think they cool.
Let us, peace. That's
I think
it.
they cool.
I think they cool if we cool. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I feel like it's just like people, right?
Yeah,
It's like
they just watching. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But
They
see,
trying to
we
see what
always
we
trying
about.
to capture them and
exploit.
Yeah,
We always trying to do
exploit
some
them.
exploitation
Yeah.
type
So-
stuff. We
See?
gotta calm down.
Yeah.
We always doing that. Like just chill.
OD. But you see the Pentagon released a couple of years ago that they real now and that they've
Well,
spotted
they just
them.
had a whole session.
Now wait a minute. What's this?
Well, no, there was footage that you talking about the footage that came out?
Yeah.
That they were like, we don't know exactly what that is.
Well, not only that, but they released files and did a whole investigation of Air Force pilots and people who have seen things.
The Pentagon.
And they said they still don't know what it is, and nobody should, because they don't want people to.
They don't want people to
chaotic.
panic.
They don't want people to get crazy.
And that's the thing, right? They always are doing the whole like we don't want to scare y'all. We don't want to
That's
scare y'all.
right.
But it's like the more that you keep away, the more I actually get spooked.
Well, I
You
believe
know what
said.
I mean? Like why is it such a secret now?
Right.
Well, because they don't want. It's not you specifically. It's
The masses.
boom.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you
And so
guys-
they're gonna sprinkle it out, and they want to prepare you slowly
That's right.
for the truth.
That's right.
Do you guys remember the chupacabra? Remember the chupacabra? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Back, when was this? Early 90s? There was a chupacabra. Chupacabra means a goat sucker in Spanish. But because all these goats were like popping up with their blood completely drained from their bodies in like a perfect way. So the carcass was all dried up. Like, how the hell did this happen in the farm?
What was happening? Do we know?
We don't know. And I'm telling you, like, and it happened in different areas in
And
like
why would
Central
somebody
and
want
South
the goat's blood
America.
only though? What's the deal with
It
the
was certain
goats?
animals, but the way the blood was removed from the body was like in a perfect way. Like they were like sucked dry as jerky. Like
sorry.
one
Jerky?
day the farmer
God
woke
rest their
up and it's
souls.
like, I have goat jerky here. How did this happen?
Right.
And no one has ever given us any information beyond
And they were like,
that.
urban myth. No.
No.
Nope.
Wow.
Now, Keke, what's Jordan like as a director?
Jordan is so cool. Jordan is just like, he's a genius, but the way he acts, he makes it seem attainable to be that way because he just like goes with the flow and really trusts himself. He also really trusts the people that he empowers, like that he hires, whether it's the crew or it's the actors. He's a genuine collaborator. So he's fun to work with because nothing is ever wrong. He's always like, okay, well, I'm informing you on the idea and then you're informing me more on the character because at this point, you should know the character even more than I do. So he's just very collaborative and empowering as a director and also fun to watch because, we saw the script change from the first time I talked to him about it to when, I read the first draft. And what I loved about it for me, especially is like, I want to be able to write and direct and, not just be a talent, someday at some point. And so to watch him kind of take chances and not be afraid that it wasn't perfect immediately, it was really dope, because for me, he's like a hero. So it's like, wow, to get that up close look of how he kind of brings his stuff together, it made me feel like, okay, I could do it. It's just step by step. I just take one day at a time and by the end of it, I get something great.
The relationship between Jordan and Daniel Kaluuya, they've now done several films together. Like that's like his
guy.
He loves him. Yeah, he calls him his Robert De Niro.
Right. Yeah, he's Scorsese, like Scorsese De Niro. Yeah.
What was that like, being on set with guys who had already had this relationship, and then now they're bringing you into?
I mean, they're great. They just make me and Daniel. So when me and Daniel first hung out, it was really cool because obviously I'm a huge fan of Daniel's, just like I'm a huge fan of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know how to reach out to Daniel. I was just like, I'll meet him on the set. But then Jordan hit me up. He was like, yo, Daniel, he said he would love to reach out to you and meet up with you before you guys start filming. I was like, yes, I'm so glad. This is perfect. Like, I thought that was just so cool. So we go out to eat and we're getting to know each other. I'm like, oh, he's a really cool dude. He already was in his American accent, which was interesting because obviously I know he's British, but he was already like getting into his voice and stuff like that.
So he does that. Once he's in character,
once he starts a movie, he's hitting that accent until that movie's over, which is, I've realized now after knowing him with his normal voice, it's quite hard. Obviously you would think it'd be hard, but it's harder than I would have imagined. So anyway, we talking and hanging out, and then afterwards, I'm like, my friends are having a kickback. If you want to, come kick it. And he was like, yeah. So we hop in the F-150. He rented the F-150 because that was also like a little bit of method type vibe. He was getting into the character.
Right, American driving.
Yeah, exactly. And like his character. And then we go hang out all night. So immediately from there, I was like, okay, we really going to get along. So we'll be hanging out on all the weekends. And it was the same vibe with Jordan. Like they just treated me like family. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, we doing this together. Let's do this together type vibe.
I guess I'll call it social media series that you were producing and creating, and you were playing all those characters. What was it called?
Turned Up with the Taylors.
Turned Up with the Taylors. It's only been 2 years ago now? At this point, right?
2 years ago.
I was into it.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
That was
we got the Emmy for that.
You did? You ended up winning an award for that?
Yes, I couldn't believe. And it's so crazy how digital is like that. Especially for me, starting out with traditional. Digital has really, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to create my own stuff and see where it can take me, it's been insane. That's why I always encourage people, do your stuff, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on TikTok, Facebook, create because you never know how far that stuff goes. Same thing with my Southern Belle Insoles. It turned into a book series with Amazon. And it's just a sketch that I did on my Instagram.
Keke, I know I'm not supposed to ask a lady this, but I've known you for so long. How old are you these days?
28.
That's what I thought.
It's crazy.
First of all,
we've known this young lady for so long.
Well, I feel like I first saw you as like a little
16.
teenager. You came in here when you were 16 years old.
You were how old?
Man, that was really little, about 12.
12.
But
that was your first.
When I came out. I was 11 when I filmed it and then 12 when it came out. That was my first big one ever. Before then, it was like Barbershop 2, but I only had like 4 lines.
And that was you and Furious Styles was in that.
Which one?
Lawrence Fishburne was.
Yes, Lawrence.
I still call him Furious Styles.
Right. No, he's an actor.
Lawrence Fishburne in the Healing the Beat. I'm dead. Hilarious.
I was like, who the hell is... But at that time, I was calling him Morpheus.
Right. Of course. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Or Ike, because y'all remember that one.
He did his thing with that.
But like, it's just, you sort of blow my mind. Like, you keep getting bigger and doing more and more and showing off more talent. But you're also so knowledgeable generally for a 28-year-old. Like, just remove the fact that you're an actor. If you were just a regular 28-year-old, like I talk to other 28-year-olds. With all due respect, they don't know shit.
They're not shit.
I'm serious, they don't know shit. But you really, like, do you spend a lot of your time reading, watching docs? Like, you just seem very aware of what's going on.
I feel like I know a lot about what I know about because it's so funny because now they get on me. Obviously, they got on me about Sorry to This Man when I was like, I don't know who Dick Cheney is. And then
Sorry
now,
to This Man.
so exactly, and
I
now
didn't
Don't
even
be
know that was
sorry.
about Dick Cheney.
Man, I'm like, I knew it was gonna get me because that's why I said sorry because I'm like, I already know this must be somebody that I should know, and so now they're getting on me because I did an interview with the cast of Nope, and they were like, we were reading off these things where people were guessing about what Nope was gonna be like, and they said, calling it now, I bet I see Scully and Mulder, and I was like, who the hell are they? Apparently X-Files.
X-Files.
Exactly, and so I'm
Your
like,
favorite music.
dude, everybody's like X-Files. So
Every time we talk Anunnaki or Gigi talk, that theme comes on.
And by the way, that's not just us. That's literally every radio show in the world.
it is?
Oh, when you talk sci-fi, that is the
X-Files.
music.
Because-
You've heard it a million times.
And I did not. So I said it to say I know a lot about the things
Well, you
I
know.
know about, but there's a whole world of stuff that I'm like, yo, like, what is that? Who is that?
I didn't watch X-Files, and you didn't miss out on Dick Cheney, so don't worry
I
about
watched
it.
X-Files. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, people
Everybody
do love
tell
that
me
show.
that now I need to start watching that show.
Well, that's
Scully
why
and Mulder were a thing.
David Duchovny became a star. That's his whole thing is that show.
Before
Californication, he's a star because
and
of
that show was on for like 10 years. I mean, I
Yeah.
obviously did my research afterwards. I'm like, wow,
But that was the
great
day.
show.
That was early. That was early Fox. So that's
It came out
The
like
Simpsons
94. I was only
right,
like
The
1 year
Simpsons was
old.
popping.
Yeah.
Like, X-Files was popping.
You know, saying The Simpsons was popping doesn't tell you anything about the era.
No, I'm saying, but it was like it first started kind of.
Right.
That's it.
Because it's been every
It
era.
has a good vibe to it. Who composed this?
I think there was a dance version too.
It has a good vibe.
Somebody put a beat to it.
Imagine
think
doing a
they
Lil
did.
Kim to this. Yo, I'm listening about to do that TikTok. Me after I found out what X-Files was.
It's so good.
And I bring up what you were doing and creating there, even what Rosenberg's saying, and now this. Are you back in the block? Like, are you back in the movie thing? Like, you do so many things. It's hard for me to kind of say, like,
What I'm doing for real. Yeah, you know what?
or are you doing it all and that's just what you want to be?
I'm doing it all. But I mean, I think, when you speak about what I've been able to do when I think about the things I did independently, obviously, hey, a great blockbuster, an opportunity and movies come up. Anytime I'm interested in something, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, 10 tones down in it. But I think my focus is on really like just creating a space where I can tell my own stories and where I can support other people telling stories, because I see the impact that you can have by just doing, believing in what you got to say, the stories you got to tell. When I think about Turned Up with the Taylors, or I think about my Southern Belle insult sketch, all those sketches I kind of did the format of like SNL, right? You think back in the day when, the first time they did the Superstar sketch and then it became a movie, or any of those characters. So I kind of did that with my Instagram, where I would try out characters, try out a storyline, and then when I seen that the audience loved it, I would turn it into a series. And I got a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Success with it. And so now that I've seen that, I'm really interested in producing more and like you said, spreading the knowledge that I have with other people in my generation, because man, we got the access. All we need to know is that we can do it. I feel like the industry needs to be democratized a little bit more. Mm-hmm. If you could work in a factory, you could be a grip on set. It's the same kind of thing, but it's more fun and more interesting. Like, there are more opportunities out there that I don't think that they know.
And they employ a lot of jobs, bro. I did
I
I went to a commercial shoot last week. I'm always blown away coming from radio. I don't know if you guys have the same experience. When you walk into a TV or film situation, at the amount of people working.
Man,
You're like,
it's a
bro,
lot
this
of
is a
jobs.
30-second spot. How many people are here?
50 people.
It's a lot
I mean,
more.
it's just
a lot
like
of
online.
jobs.
People be like, oh, this was moved in that scene and it wasn't there in that scene. People talk about continuity a lot.
Yes.
I'm like, that's a whole job. That's a whole job called scripting on set, where you got to make sure everybody's saying their lines the right way, they moving their hands the right way. That's a job. So that's like a hope and a desire for me to like really let people know, like,
Lift up the curtain and let people know what's available.
what's available, because it's so much there for you.
Also, I'm making a prediction for Keke. Because you were doing the talk show a couple years ago.
Oh,
You were on
yeah.
Two Girls
Phenomenal.
That
No,
is
was
fun.
great.
And that was when y'all had me in New York, and I was like, hey.
No, and listen, and by the way, you're really good. I'm not just
Thank you
blowing
so
smoke.
much.
I hate on talk show hosts because I always think I should host every show. You're fantastic.
You're good, though.
Thank you very much. But you're fantastic. But I'm predicting after this one, we're gonna see a little run here of a few years
said a little
of
run
big.
here.
No, not even 10. It might be a 5-year run of big time movies. I think she's going This is going to be this is out of
I'm
here.
with
The
you.
Buzz Light.
I'm with
You guys
you.
are hilarious.
So you
I
just
love
did
the
the
predictions.
Pixar thing.
Yep,
So you
yep.
got your voice
See?
work off on
Yeah.
that, and then following with this.
Yep.
So now
What else says in production on your Wikipedia page right now? Do you have
A
what
couple
else?
of things.
Let me go see. I'm going to look it up.
And we'll come back to that.
Some of it's
because
not on there.
I think I also want to say I think there's a missed opportunity for like BET Awards and some of these awards show for us to make sure that Keke is hosting.
Let's go.
That phone call?
So you know what? BT has never asked me to host.
Really?
What? They've never asked me to host. Yeah, that's never.
Would you do it?
I mean, yeah, I would do it. Yeah.
It feels like you could host every year.
Stop it. And the MTV.
You're the Billy
Movie
Crystal.
Awards.
She could be the Billy
The
Crystal.
BET
Come on, Billy
Awards.
Crystal.
Yes. You could be the Billy
I
Crystal.
do love a long time something. You know, Dick Clark, Billy Crystal. I love the vibes of that. You know, I love that.
You could go on a run.
I love that. I love the continuation, you know. But yeah, they never asked me, you know. If they asked me, I would be down. Let's make a fun show.
No, they haven't had that thought yet, huh?
No.
And
Keke
you
has
do
to-
sketches, you do
Yeah.
all of this stuff that will weave into
Come
that
on,
night.
she's gonna
Yeah.
be easy. She's gonna be all right. Hey, Keke has to go.
Kiki's
gosh.
big time. She big
Y'all are
time. You gotta
kidding me.
go.
I always love hanging with y'all and seeing y'all. Y'all
Don't
are the
forget
bomb.
us when you
We
go on this
Come
run.
back. Just
You
come
know
back.
I ain't never
coming back.
Y'all know I had to stop through. What are you talking about? And you know, keep me posted on Anunnaki.
Listen, we
You
will.
already know. You already know.
Y'all, Keke Palmer's in the new movie Nope. Go look for it
Yes,
right now.
we love it.
It's out.